Welcome. The following video will show you how to set up your Adobe Photoshop for printing to the Brother GT782. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up your Photoshop and go up to Edit and go down to Color Settings. We need to set our working space to sRGB, so underneath the working space area for the drop down box, please choose sRGB. Then underneath the color management policies, we want to convert all of our working graphics that come in to our working space sRGB. So in the drop down box, please choose Convert to Working RGB. Then go over and click OK. Now your Photoshop has been set up and you're ready to bring in your graphic. Let's bring in our graphic by going up to File, and you can just open a graphic. We're going to open up our Brother Tiger graphic. Now the graphic will come in and it's in a PSD file, and we want to check to see if there's any pure white in the graphic. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click on the color picker and come over and click on anywhere we see pure white. In this case we have 255, 255, and 255. This will not be printed by the Brother GT782 print driver. We need to change that to 254 in all of these fields. So let's start by going and clicking on Image, go over to our mode, and make sure we're working in RGB color mode. Once we have that done, we can then go to Select, go down to Color Range, highlight the image, come down with our color picker, which will automatically be selected, and you can either select it on the large graphic, or you can also select it in the small graphic, or you can click on the selection to see which has been selected. So all the areas that show up in white right now are the areas that currently have the RGB values at 255, 255, and 255. So once we have the color range selected, we'll go ahead and click OK. And now you'll notice on the screen all the areas that show up with those values. Now what we're going to want to do is go over to our color range, double click on it, and change all of these 255s to 254. Once you've done that, hit OK. Then go up to the top, click on the Edit menu, and go down to Fill. And we're going to want to fill those using the foreground color that we just created of 254, 254, and 254. Once we do that, we can uncheck our highlighted areas, grab our color picker, come over, click on it, and we'll notice that they now show up at 254, 254, 254. This graphic is now ready to be sent to the GT782 driver. To send this graphic to the GT782 driver, we're going to go up and click on File, and we're going to go down to Print. Pull down the drop-down box and find the GT782 file output driver. Once we have that selected, click on your Properties window, and it will bring out the main page setting tab. Up here you can put what plotting size you'd like to run with. The next is our ink, and it'll talk about whether you're going to run with color and white, white only, or color. One key feature that the GT782 driver allows you to do, it allows you to print with black ink, or if you uncheck this box, it will remove all of the black in your graphic and use the actual black of the color of the shirt. In this case, since we have a black background graphic, we're going to uncheck that box. Below that we have our white volumes. The mask is our underbase, and it allows us to adjust how much of the underbase we'd like to put down. The lower the number, the lower amount of white ink that has been put down onto the shirt. The higher the number, the more of the white ink that has been put down to the shirt. Then we also have our white highlight, which was the second pass white, which will allow us to put on a little bit more white ink for an extra pop. And then we have our color processing settings, which are our standard saturation and contrast, as before. You can also click on the Advanced button. And in the Advanced button, we have a white mask that allows us to have a second color if we wanted to make that transparent as well. An important field to look at is our choke width. The choke width allows us to bring in the white underbase to make a better alignment with the CMYK colors, since they're put in at different resolutions. You can slide this bar to the right and it'll choke in or bring in the white underbase. We also have our CMYK color effects on the ink volume. This is for our CMYK only layer, and this is the standard ink volume where you can adjust it from 10 all the way down to 1 depending on what type of garment you're printing on. We have the ability to just go ahead and check double printing, and then also the yellow and black feature printing to avoid bleeding. And finally, you can choose whether you want to do unidirectional printing, as the default is bidirectional printing. Once you've done that, just go ahead and OK, and send your job to the Brother GT782 file output printer. If you have any additional questions, please contact your Brother distributor. Thank you and have a great day.